You never know what you're going to see floating down the river. I think that's a Canadian goose decoy. We'll see if it comes close enough to the boat that I can grab it with the gaff. Well, I think my lazy days of the Illinois River are coming to a close. And now I'm going through the belly of one of the beasts. So things are probably going to get more exciting soon. These poor folks had their houses flooded out. I'm only a couple miles from the Mississippi. Okay guys, well, I left the Illinois River, which is right back there. There's the marina of Grafton. And this is the Mississippi coming in right here. I guess I'm officially on the Mississippi right now. See those cliffs over there? And man, the current just picks up. All of a sudden, I'm doing like almost 9 miles an hour with the same RPMs. And there's whirlpools, big whirlpools that like spin you around too. Two big rivers converging. So neat. Here I'm passing by the cliffs of Dover. I mean the cliffs of the Mississippi River. So pretty. Definitely a change of scenery all of a sudden. And the current picked up. We've got a steaming smokestack off in the distance. It's 60 degrees. Loving it. Passing by the town of Alton. Alton, Illinois. The place where three big rivers all kind of come together in this general area. The Illinois, about 10 miles up. The Missouri, about 10 miles down. And of course, the mighty Mississippi right here. This is a neat little town. You guys should definitely stop. It's worth hanging out for a day or two, walking around. Hey guys. So I broke my rule about not staying in marinas, and I'm staying at this marina tonight in Alton. Excuse me. $15, and you can tie up to their service dock. You can even plug in. The guy was like, well, we only have 15 amps, so I'm only going to charge you $15. I'm like, I don't need no stinking plug-ins, senor. I got 12 volt. Best deal ever. And look at this view. I'm looking at this bridge out my window going over to Missouri. This is a really cool town. And if I needed gas, it's right there. But I don't need no stinking gas either, senor. I got gas for days. We got gas and hoppies. Maybe. So yeah. think I'm gonna walk over to town and get myself a beer. Wavey's well pooped, well peed. Took her for about a 5-mile walk. And then tomorrow, I'm gonna take a little walking tour and take you guys along and show you this cool little city. This boat out at the fuel dock, we've been passing each other back and forth on the Illinois River now for like 3-4 days. And he's fueling up. The name is Almost There, which probably means almost to the next fuel dock. I know, I'm being a little righteous, but if you got the money, you got the money. I have about a 25-gallon fuel tank right there, and I have probably burned about 25 gallons in the past 10 days. Just to give somebody an idea of what it might cost. Yamaha 60 horse 4-stroke carbureted, doing about 5 miles an hour. That's about the best mileage I could get. I think it comes out to be about 15 miles to the gallon going down river. So if you're on a budget and you want to be on the water, I think this is the best way to go. You could probably even do better if you had a fuel injected motor on the back. Well, fixing this back tire on the scooter for the 3rd time. I know what's wrong with it. It's got a bent rim, and the tire was rubbing on something inside the tire well, which de-beaded the tire and exposed the tube, and it blew. So I'm gonna go to the park with Wavey, let her run around, and I'm gonna do my best to straighten this rim. I've been doing some research online on how to do it, but never done it before. We'll see how it goes. There's a pedestrian walkway that goes over the main thoroughfare here in Alton, and if you're staying at the marina, you can just walk to it and then just go over to this old bakery beer company. It's a really nice like a microbrew, local brew company that has food. Really underutilized. This whole town kind of has the feel of like a lot of room to grow. It's one of those towns that probably lost population when the deindustrialization of the Midwest happened, and now it's trying to find its new place in the world with you know, tourism and arts and crafts and things like that. So you get a lot of little bakeries and restaurants and you know, these old brick buildings that are hundreds of years old, and cobblestone streets and stuff. And I like towns like that. It kind of, you know, all my travels, I can just name off a handful that kind of feel like that, is like Portland, Maine, Duluth, Minnesota to a certain extent, Marquette, Michigan, up in the UP, only a couple hours from where I live. I'm trying to think of some other towns like that I've come across. They just kind of have this, you know, my observations have been, you know, the choice we're given in this modern age, you know, 2018 current year, is you can either live in a metropolis, which is in my opinion, a total nightmare, or you can live in a dead little town, backwaters, USA, with no jobs, which is not very appealing to most people unless you're retired or, you know, have some other reasons. So these little mid-sized cities, this I asked somebody, the population is about 33,000 here in Alton, which, if you think about it, you know, is kind of uncommon. I mean, you probably can go across a map of the U.S. and find a few cities like that, but usually it's kind of like the middle class, you're either, you know, again, current year 2018, you're either a millionaire, billionaire, or you're abject poverty, debt class. And so this kind of middle ground is disappearing. And so that's why I get a really good feeling about this city. This is a really cool place I'd like to spend more time in. I'm half tempted to just find some place to anchor out of everybody's way and just keep coming to town and get to know it a little better. Of course, when you're in cities, you tend to spend more money, and you know, it's easy to do. There's places to spend it. So, but that's where the discipline comes in. There's the bridge, and then the marina's just right over there. My boat's just parked right under the bridge there. So, yeah, I'll keep showing you around. This would be one of the churches in town here. I think this is the Catholic Church, St. Mary's Catholic Church. Just gorgeous architecture. Really good condition. You can see it's overlooking the river down there. There's the bridge, just to kind of give you guys a reference. You don't see these old brick streets around anymore, or much. Here's an alleyway that's all brick, and a sidewalk. Here's an example of one of the beautiful homes just right up the hill from the river. So beautiful. This must have been a very prosperous city at one time. These estates are like mansions, castles. You see them all over the city, at least in this part of the city. Morning Star Missionary Baptist Church, established 1842, according to the sign. I'm assuming this was an old movie theater, the Grand. Now it's boarded up. And across the street, this building right here, no one's in it. It's just completely empty.